To tell a good idea from a bad one, you have to try the bad one at least once.
Don't hold it, okay? No. And go.
I was always a dreamer, always asking the same kind of question to myself. I was always a ghost. I waited, boy.
I guess everything is a journey, basically. Some journeys take only a short time, others never end. I know that sounds like a cliche, but I think it's true. We all want to be somewhere. Everything we want and every dream, every wish is like a destination. And to get there, we have to move. But everybody moves differently. Some people travel slower than others. Some people seem to know the way better than others. And some don't even dare to travel at all. This is a story about me moving. Because I wanted to be somewhere. It's the story how I made GOLiATH. Sure, I could have recorded everything at home. But working from the same place where you live and sleep is tricky. Sometimes it's hard for me to be inspired when I look at the same four walls every day and all the little things that keep me from being creative. In my own routine, I am my worst enemy. So I decided to drive 2,000 kilometers south. Because I think there's power in being somewhere else. Somewhere where nothing is really familiar. The air is different and the sky looks different and life itself is different. Makes me change the way that I focus. Packing the car and just leaving, it was exciting. Also a relief. It felt a little bit like breaking out of prison. It felt great. I know, I really could have gone anywhere, but I felt drawn to this place. Maybe it was the romantic in me, but this was where I saw myself working freely and ending this long period of overthinking. Right here, in the very deep south of Sicily. In Modica.
I think there is always a reason to go somewhere else to do something about art, not art, but art and art sometimes is the same thing, and and maybe Sicily is not important, just doing something somewhere else, but actually Sicily is a good option, I think. I met Jonas during my first European tour, and the last show, I think was the last one, was in Wuppertal. We played in the same venue, and for me it was like love immediately when I listened to his music. And I stayed there in Wuppertal for a couple of years, just playing music with him around Germany and Europe. I think that was the best period of my life about music, if you're talking about music, yes. Also friendship with Jonas. He's like a brother for me. Yes or no?
Yes. Huh?
So like now?
Yeah, like now, but yeah, I'm just saying like the betweens are dry.
I thought you said like to change the symbols. No.
No.
Okay.
So, but then in this case it's every second time. Now, in this case, no, it's every fourth time, yeah, probably. No? One. Every third time. For me it's a second. Like, psh. One without, psh. It's every second.
I thought you wanted different. Like every four.
No, that's why I said second.
Thanks.
Did you know that Saturn looks like an icon?
Like, what?
When David and I started playing together, our communication was more based on music than language. But I feel connected to David's way of understanding and composing music, so it worked. He always says that I changed his life, but what he doesn't realize is that he changed mine. We learned a lot from each other, like how different people can be, how different places, countries and mentalities can be, and how to work with it. Somehow he's tired of things that I really love about Sicilian life, and on the opposite he likes certain German habits that I'm a little bit tired of. In Germany I have the constant feeling of being too late, but in Modica I feel more like being in time for once. It's almost like Modica is an old soul. You can feel it when you take a walk through the narrow alleyways in the older parts of the city, where everything is made from yellow sandstone, and at night the city is dipped in a warm, mellow glow. To me it's just beautiful to walk around and look at it. And of course the city is more magical to me because I don't live there. But every time I was there I felt right at home. Also because I was treated as a family member by everyone.
Il mio momento preferito è stato quando una notte Jonas stava registrando e noi ci siamo fermati, abbiamo visto la luna e dopo abbiamo continuato a lavorare, a creare musica. È stato un momento di pausa molto bello, ed è questo anche il motivo del nome del mio studio, Pausa Studio, è proprio per questo, perché tu puoi vivere in pausa e goderti quel momento, che è molto importante, è intimo.
I have met Puma before, but we never really talked because he didn't speak English and I don't speak Italian. So I wasn't sure what to expect, but I was impressed how he gave his absolute all in trying to understand me. And I was even more impressed how big Puma's heart is. He was so kind and patient, and I think for a Sicilian person it's almost physically painful not being able to express themselves in language. One night, Puma told me that he still feels like a child, a dreamer, like someone who loves to think about unusual things too much. That actually inspired me to put one song on the record. By building the studio, he made one of these dreams come true. And I think it took a big risk to build something like this in a small city like Modica, especially financially. But I also think he wanted to create a little retreat for himself and for his friends to work on music, to create everything in the place that he loves. The name of the studio is Pausa, and it means break. Years ago I saw him record in the garage at his parents' house, and now he built this beautiful studio, which is still at his parents' house, but that's a good thing because it means that there's always a snack waiting for you. Sometimes his mother Giovanna would come in with freshly squeezed juice, or his father Enzo would bring the first bottle of last year's red wine. And all those things grew a few meters away from where I was playing guitar. I think that's just beautiful. One day I was buying lemons from a local store and Puma was there with me. And on the way home he told me, if you need lemons, you could just take them from the tree in the backyard. You know that, right? So I learned that we have a lemon tree and that I can just pick them whenever I want, as many as I want. That's great. After a few weeks, Rasmus came to the studio and I was really glad that he came, because at that point I was a little lost and things started to get a little exhausting. He brought some fresh energy and some needed efficiency back in the process. He's the kind of guy that puts up a poster and he draws all these little squares and reminds you of all the things you still have to do. And that was exactly what I needed.
Im Prinzip bin ich dazu da, dass der Jonas mit mir Ping-Pong spielen kann, dass er seine Ideen und Vorschläge abfeuern kann. Und da hilft das noch ein zweites Paar Ohren dabei zu haben, was manchmal eine dumme Idee hat, manchmal eine gute Idee hat, aber eben immer aufmerksam ist. Und oft ist auch gerade der Grund, dass er dann sagen kann, nee, das will ich nicht, und eben besser eingrenzen kann, wo die Reise hingehen soll. Und ich sitze da dann halt die meiste Zeit und bin in seiner Welt und versuche genauso in den Songs drin zu sein wie er, und so funktioniert das eigentlich ganz gut, schon was länger.
Apart from being a great musician, he is one of my best friends and we share the same humor and the same love for a lot of things. And we know each other in stressful situations because we have worked and lived together. He was a great companion in the process of recording. He kept track of things and supported me both musically and technically, and would just encourage me to trust in myself. And when I work with him, I don't feel like I have to explain myself too much. It's like that he understands what I'm trying to do and he just supports me in doing that.
Geht auf jeden Fall. Können wir immer so ankündigen, so. Nur so den Tada fliegen lassen. Ich fand es auf jeden Fall ein bisschen cooler nach dem Kurs. So, weil der halt kurz Pause macht.
Oh, was sind Tränen in den Augen?
Oh, Musik ist so schön.
Dann kam so ein Sound wie so
Buonasera, sono il sindaco Ignazio Abbate. Abbiamo appena ricevuto dal Dipartimento della Protezione Civile di Palermo l'allerta rossa a causa dei forti temporali in arrivo. Per tale motivo abbiamo deciso di chiudere tutte le scuole di ogni ordine e grado in territorio di Modica. Per la giornata di domani, 25 ottobre.
Gucken wir. Ich glaube, zu dieser Zeit haben wir noch nie probiert, was zu essen. Ich kann jetzt natürlich Brot holen. An dem Motor ist zu, ne? Bar? You can get to the car. This is great. Maybe you can pick us up.
400 Meter. Dann hol ich kann das Auto auch holen. Weil ich hier einsammle. Ich hab da feste Schuhe an.
I will call you again. Un momento.
Hol das jetzt.
Guter Mann. Tommy. Meine Schuhe sind dann halt komplett nass, ne?
Ja, das ist nah.
Zschoch is also a friend of Davide. He is a classically trained percussionist but also plays saxophone and clarinet. Because of him I was able to think in some new ways when it came to orchestrate the songs. At home I don't know many people that play woodwinds like he does. The recording of Sorry was special because the song came together in a different way. After recording the first part, I didn't feel the need for more words, so I asked Zschoch to improvise a second verse, only with the clarinet, but in a way as if he was singing. There was an idea about how the story could continue. The first part was about a connection between two people that was not working anymore, and the second part I imagined to be like a forgiving reapproach, like a careful reunion, with this feeling that things can find a way after some time. But I didn't tell Zschoch any of that. I wanted to leave everything to his feeling and see what came out of him. And his first takes were deeply touching. He found exactly that feeling I was looking for. The sensitivity in his playing is something you don't experience every day. And I think it was one of my favorite moments in the whole studio time. And I think Sorry wouldn't be the same without this guy.
Un momento molto bello è successo una sera che ero molto stanco perché ero stato a Roma, avevo preso l'aereo, mi ero alzato presto la mattina e la sera dovevo andare a registrare il sassofono in un brano e sono entrato in studio che ero davvero stanco il tempo di montare il clarinetto, di montare i miei strumenti e cominciare a registrare, sentire le idee di Jonas, e mi sono ripreso subito. È stato proprio bello perché ho notato come questa musica ti ricarichi le energie, l'anima e la mente.
What a good soul and raw energy this man has.
Ok.
Milo drove 3 hours from Messina down to Modica only to record with me for one day. I had never met him before. I just knew that he plays in David's band and that he's a great drummer. But I was in love with him right away. This time, not being able to speak Italian was a real challenge.
This energy is nice.
Cosa?
So we worked on the drums for Social Birds and had recorded already for a few hours, and it was nice, but didn't feel right to me. I was looking for something different, but I didn't know what it was. That was an interesting moment because I could not explain what I was looking for, but Milo felt how I was still searching. I was a little scared that he could be offended or disappointed, but he stayed motivated and eagerly tried to find new ideas. And then, at some point, he started to play a very simple pattern. And maybe this was the first time that I was moved by a drum beat. It was just right. I was also moved by his determination to find what is best for the song and that he did not stop until we had found it. I'm very glad that we have met. And even if it was just one day, it was very special to me.
Clock throats swallow, mother's love. Glory eyes won't see you fail. She wrote a note to tell you the plans are off, and you are now free to bail and follow.
There were many reasons that had kept me from finishing music in the last years. I released the record Keep the Times in 2011 and it changed my life. I made it in my bedroom without a damn clue what I was doing. And it didn't even sell very good, but through the attention, I have been able to live from music for the past years. It took me around the world and let me meet wonderful people and see great places. But it also introduced me to a new world. And a part of this world is a business which can be dark and fake. Because suddenly it's not only about your heart, but about money. Suddenly it's important to be smart about things, to be strategic, things that I'm not. And there were people around me with very different opinions about what should come next, and it was paralyzing. So I stayed alone. I always admired artists that have a clear, defined outline, a sharp concept of musicality or personality. And I still don't feel like one of them. I have so many different sides and preferences, like how can I be so silly sometimes and at the same time make music that is so serious? I don't have the feeling that I'm a very consistent person when it comes to my emotional state. Joy, sadness, being driven or being without motivation. Those states can change quickly. The amount of trust in myself and my talents also varies a lot. Sometimes I'm way too confident and outgoing, and at other times shy and full of doubt. I spent the years in a loop of questioning myself, trying to figure out what would be clever to do, conflicted between what is commercially right and what I love, ending up doing nothing. Always wondering who I want to be instead of just being. And I kept myself away from all these questions by working for other people, finding projects where I would put all my heart and energy in, because it's easier. You can have a vision for others while being a mess. And still, I was constantly collecting bits and pieces of music and ideas. I wrote songs here and there, but usually wouldn't finish anything. Overthinking would mostly kill every idea. GOLiATH is made from these pieces that I carried through the years, and I owed it to myself to finish them. To be honest, in the end it wasn't really important what I would take out of the drawer. It was important that I did it. Traveling so far was a good idea. The decision to just do it worked. I escaped my own loop. Of course, the time in Sicily was not only bliss and happiness all the time. There were some days where it was still a fight to push through and stay productive. And that is how it always will be. And I will not stop to question who I am or what I'm doing. There will always be a routine to fight against. But GOLiATH was to prove to myself that I can do it, that I can win this fight. And that in the end, something comes out of it. I found so much beauty in just letting things happen and involving different people in the process instead of working alone like I usually did. It taught me again how important it is to be open for everything. This is me, moving. And this was the story how I made GOLiATH.